This is the best time for FIRE, financial independence, retire early. Working a 9 to 5 for the next 30 years or more is a depressing and mundane thought for many people. One answer to this problem is the FIRE movement, which stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. The goal of the FIRE lifestyle, often called the Financial Independence, Retire Early movement, is to become financially independent and retire as early as possible. In order to retire in their 30s or 40s, believers of FIRE philosophy save and invest more than half of their annual income. But before actually starting this, a big question comes to mind. When is the best time for FIRE? Welcome to Savvy, where we have lots of practical wisdom to share. Hey, don't forget to hit the like button below, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more advice here on Savvy. To be honest, one of the first questions to be answered is this. Is FIRE still possible? With the higher inflation rate and the pandemic from which the world is currently recovering, is there still a way to do it? Fortunately for everyone, there are still ways to FIRE. After all, the tools and tips are already provided. All we need is the courage and motivation to begin. To start, technology is one of the benefits we presently enjoy. It's easy to get caught up in the grander picture of technology's impact on the globe. But in terms of the goal of becoming financially independent and retiring early, technology has had a profound impact on every aspect of the endeavor, including the ability to generate revenue. Among the methods to generate revenue is getting a side hustle. Even before, most people took second jobs to earn more money. These tasks demanded significant time, commitment, and physical presence. But now, there are opportunities to work from home, even in the comforts of your bedroom. You can make a lot of money in your spare time by creating websites, writing copy, designing graphics, or even selling on eBay. Another way to gain and maintain good revenue is through budgeting. We want you to go back and look at the books on personal finance. To budget, you would go to the very back of the book you bought and find worksheets there that you can use. Now, there are mobile apps that let you track your spending in a way that fits your needs. You can also download the transactions and bring them in. It's more like keeping track of your own money than having to be a bookkeeper. Because technology has changed the world, budgeting one's finances is very interesting. People may have thought back then that it would be hard to make a budget. Now, anyone who knows how to use a smartphone can make a budget because apps make it so easy. They also make it very easy to understand. They bring in the transactions for it, and all you have to do is tell it how much it is for this and that, and it will put it in the right category for you. So if you don't have a budget or need to keep track of how much you spend, you should pay attention to this. I mean, how can you know how much you need to spend if you don't know how much you are spending right now? Aside from keeping track of what you are spending, investing is vital when it comes to FIRE. Investing has become a breeze these days. If you are an investor, you couldn't have been born at a finer moment. You can now buy index funds that are almost as good as free money. In fact, there are even some that say free on them. This is an excellent time to discuss the benefits of investing in index funds, since technology has made it easier to get started. You can look at 3 things that make index funds a better choice. One is price, another is performance, and the third is tax efficiency. Compare a large SP 500 index to the largest actively managed fund, which is the American Fund's Washington Mutual Fund. Let's use Fidelity as an example. The internal expense ratio of American Fund is 0.58%, which is much cheaper than 2%, compared to the internal expense ratio of SP 500, which is 0.015%. That's a tiny amount. Then you can compare it how well each did. Over the last few years, the index fund has done better than the actively managed fund, even in a solid and positive bull market. The third thing you can look at is the turnover ratio. This just tells you how often they buy and sell inside the fund, which affects how tax efficient it is or not. The American Fund's Washington Mutual Fund has a turnover ratio of 19% right now. The SP 500 has a 2% fee, so it makes sense that you will get fewer capital gains from the index fund. So, we talked about how technology has made it easier to get a side hustle and make money. It's made budgeting easier. You have the tools to help you invest, which has made it cheaper. Also, it's interesting that in the world we live in now, after the pandemic, the idea of working from anywhere and having a side job from somewhere else is becoming more and more of a reality. When we used certain forms of technology, it felt like we made more progress in a shorter amount of time. It was a bit strange when people first started utilizing Zoom for things like meetings and other events. Now, it appears to be a lot closer to the norm presently. According to statistics, 22% of workers anticipate that they will be working from the comfort of their own homes by the end of this year. Contrary to popular belief, those involved here are not engaged in independent contracting of any kind. These workers are legitimate employees. They're doing the same work they did 5 years ago, only now they're doing it remotely, either from their own homes or other locations. It's incredible how far technology has come to make something like that a reality. We have a case study of an employee who wanted to join the FIRE movement, but also knew they were moving. It was one of those things where the employer didn't want them to leave, but the employee had to move. But now, thanks to technology, people can work from home, and employers and workers can come to one agreement. Check out the opportunities that this new and modern world we live in today allows you to have more freedom and options, as this would aid you on the path to financial independence and early retirement. That's enough practical wisdom for today. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up below. We will be posting 4 to 5 videos per week, so click the subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified of our new videos weekly. Thanks for tuning in. See you in the next video.